I was muted. All right, everybody, good evening and welcome to another installment of Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. I am your host, Letha Thornton, and I'm super happy to have the attention of yours for a little while as we continue to move the culture forward to financial independence, financial empowerment, financial education, whatever you want to call it. We continue to put on meaningful programming to help you to excel to the next level as it pertains to all things money and finance. Your money does matter, how you spend it, what you do with it, and the whole nine. So, every week, we've been diving into relevant topics that would help you, whether it's starting a business, whether it's lining up things for your business, whether it's life insurance, investments. We've talked about home ownership. We've talked about some of everything because we really do want you to advance and have the free resources and the tools to make the informed decisions about what it is that you're doing. All we ask is that you take the information and use it to your benefit. A lot of the times people are charging for this kind of information, but we are putting it out there front and center to help you to advance financially. This week, and I've been very, very nervous about this particular topic, but it's so relevant and important in everything that we're doing moving forward. Technology is changing and advancing so rapidly that me, I don't want to get left behind, and I certainly don't want to see other people get left behind. So, I went on a little bit of a hunt to find someone that would talk to us about the word that probably nobody wants to talk about, which is artificial intelligence. So we've seen movies, we've seen all kinds of things that kind of gave us a preview of what's to come. And today I wanted to use this platform to combat fear with knowledge, right? I said that on my Facebook post. Knowledge conquers fear. So the more that we can learn and the more that we can use these things to our advantage, whether it's personal or business, I want to be in the know, whether I use it or whether I don't. But I certainly want to know how things work. So I found this young lady who is constantly using artificial intelligence for her business and is teaching others as well. So I wanted to bring Miss Kifa Hawkins on to share with our audience about artificial intelligence. Kifa, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me? I am here live in the flesh. I am not a robot.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes,
So
I'm here. Thank you for having me.
no, thank you for coming on, my dear. This, as I said to you before when we spoke, that this is such a relevant topic, and it's almost like they're kind of sprinkling it in, and you're seeing the little things here and little things there. But I do fully anticipate that this is definitely the wave of the future, and we need to be able to take advantage of that. So, do us a favor, just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business, tell us a fun fact about you, and where you see this whole thing going.
Yeah, well, greetings. Good evening. I am Kifa Hawkins, your AI savage. Okay, so I've done lots of things in my life. Currently, I own a CrossFit gym. That's one of the things. I own property in Tulum, Mexico that I rent out, and I do retreats in Tulum. Also teaching AI and how to up level your life and your business. I also have a CBD brand called Sweaty Wetty that falls in line with helping people have a great life and also help them with recovering from sports. Because as you know, if you've heard of CrossFit, you know it can be pretty intense and it does require a great amount of recovery to really get the workout you want and the body that you desire. So I have a few things going on. And because I have all of that, I had to learn how to incorporate AI into my life and into my businesses so that I'm not stressed, overwhelmed, and I really have the freedom to grow and build the life that I want for myself and for my children. So I am a mom of two. I have a 17-year-old son, and I also have a daughter who will be 11 next month. And I'll tell you, this is something a lot of people don't know about me. Unless you really, really know me, a lot of people don't know this about me. But I was a rough rider for over 10 years. I ride motorcycles. I led a thug life. Okay. I'm brave, but I love thugging too. Okay.
Oh boy. All right. So you want a little walk on the wild side?
Yes.
Okay. I love it. You have a very, very bubbly personality. And I probably could see all of those things that you're describing, even the motherhood part. I could tell that you probably get your kids excited. You got me excited over here just to hear from you today. So tell us how you got started in the AI world.
So yeah, and that's a great question. I'm nobody special. That's what I want you to know. I'm like everybody else who's a small business owner who has a deep desire to have ultimate freedom in my life, monetarily, time wise. And so because I have lots of things that I do and I have kids, I needed to find a way to optimize my time. I needed to find a way to scale up my businesses without it having to take time from other things that I do, right? So how I had to think about it like, how can I multiply myself without multiplying myself?
Right.
How can I multiply myself without stressing myself out, without getting burned out? And what happened when I heard about Chat GPT, which was the first, it's a language model. That's what it is, Chat GPT. And I'll talk about some of that too, if we have time. But because I teach people, I teach online, I'm a coach, life coach, business accelerator coach. I needed a way that I could build courses, right, with the quickness. How can I turn over material and help people accelerate their business without it taking 30 days, 6 weeks? Back before artificial intelligence, it was typical for a program to be 6 months long, right? If you sign up for a coaching program, a financial learning program, if you're going to school, it was just typical 6-month program, 3-month program. But nowadays, people don't have that kind of time. They're on social media. I mean, who actually looks at a program and says, yeah, I would love to give up 6 months of my life to learn this? Nobody. Right? People don't even want to read articles. Well, actually, people don't even want to read no more.
That's
right?
true.
That's a fact. We want the information coming in like 10 times faster than, even if we can't consume it, know what it is. We want it to come in and we want to have the ability to tuck it away and say, I'll look at it later. I'll check this later. You know what I mean? That's just the world we live in. So it was my desire to create freedom in my own life, but still have businesses. And so when I saw, oh, okay, I can have my own chatbot that's going to help me design my courses, that's going to help me plan my social media. And not only that, it's going to write it for me. What? Okay, say less. Where do I sign up? So was
find out about it. Like, how did you, like, when you were saying I need to find a way to scale my business, what made you look toward that?
So another great question. I had always been on Clubhouse have you heard of Clubhouse?
Absolutely.
So yeah, for the last couple years, I've been on Clubhouse in real estate rooms, marketing rooms, just whatever you can find.
Sure.
And when Chat GPT dropped it was around November 2022, I just happened to go in the room and it was somebody on there who had the knowledge of this AI. And so when I heard just a little bit, I said, you know what, let me check it out. Because I've never been someone who was scared of technology. Okay.
Okay.
The reality is most people interact with AI even when they weren't aware of it. For example, if you have, T-Mobile, AT&T, most of those places, if you need to troubleshoot your cell phone problems, your internet problems, the first place they send you is to their chatbot. right? So even though it's limited in how they could answer, that was AI. Now, fast forward, we have AI to the nth degree, right? So the language model, ChatGPT is just one of the language models, but now there's multiple of them out there that you can use.
Sure.
But the language model has taken all of this conversation over the years, and now it can use that and communicate with you intelligently. It can pull information from the internet and it can generate responses to your questions.
Gotcha. I'll be completely honest with you. That is probably one of my least favorite things. When you are trying to chat with either a live voice or you want to answer that is not automated, that someone who isn't, I can't say that I have never been afraid of technology. It just sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming. And when you're trying to get an issue solved, that has been probably one of the most frustrating things, because the answers are automated. But I can see that that is the wave where they're really eliminating a lot of the ability for you to talk to somebody live. So rather than be frustrated or overwhelmed by it, I am attempting to embrace the fact that times are definitely changing,
Yeah.
and more and more it is difficult to speak to a live agent. So chatting intelligently and learning how all of it works, is probably just as much for me as it is for my audience. So, um,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about some of the systems and things. A little saying that we often say is, systems stand for save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So, how can we use AI in our personal life as well as our business life to save ourselves time and money?
So that is a great question. And I know that, see, everyone is not a digital creator, a course creator, or has a desire to do stuff online. You know,
Right.
most people are just regular people that have a desire to have a great life and
Mhm.
have the finances to do what they want. But think about this. This is where the AI is so super important. There was a time in the past where you may have a great idea for an app. You may have a great idea for some technology to patent, or you might have a great idea for painting, a drawing, but you have none of those skills to get that thing in your mind and your head out in a way that people can understand it, right? So what AI has done is, this is for regular people. It has given, and I consider myself a regular person. I ain't special. I'm not a genius. I have to read. I don't have a photographic memory or any of that.
Right.
It enabled regular people like myself to say, wow, that idea for this app that I've been thinking about, I don't know how to code. I can actually put it into chat and have chat spit it out in a way, right, that is usable information. So now I can take my $1 million idea and manifest it. Okay,
Mm.
whether that is a drawing, an app, technology, whatever it is you can think of. So now you don't have to be a genius no more to do genius things. That's the biggest thing. Okay, I need everybody to hear that. You do not have to be a genius to do genius things.
Uh-huh.
Right. But now for people that are course creators and create digital content influencers, AI has given us the ability to, instead of sitting down trying to come up with what are we going to post this week? What is our theme going to be?
Mm.
You can type in what you want. And especially when you get like really good at prompting, that's a whole nother lesson. But prompting is how you speak to your chat. Okay. Chat GPT, chat, Hey Pi, there's lots of different language models now. But I use kind of Chat GPT as a generic term now for a bot that you're talking to and it's giving you information back. It will spit out. If you tell it you need 30 days of content for Facebook and Instagram with videos, like relevant videos, it can do that for you. See, you don't have to worry about writer's block. It will give you a start. Even if you're somebody who says, yeah, but I want it to sound like me, which you can actually do that. You can prime your chat so it speaks like you, it has your sense of humor. It really is having like a partner that knows everything. That's your best friend, that's your business partner, that's your confidant, your everything, right? And it actually learns you, so it can return back information that's usable to you in the areas that you need it. So if you are an expert in yoga, your chat, you can prime your chat so that it sends you posts for 60 days. Okay. And you can tell it the learning outcomes you want for those posts. I need people to learn XYZ, and it will formulate all of that. So that's one way you can save time. Another way is you actually can spit out your entire course. Okay. So that's one of the things I teach people how to do. We'll build your 6-module course complete with table of contents, learning outcomes, pre-assessments, post-assessments, YouTube video scripts, podcast scripts, and marketing plan in 5 days or less. Okay, that's my AI boot camp. Never before would we be able to do that, like literally in 5 days or less. And when I say 5 days, I mean a coaching call that's 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So really, we're talking 10 hours, okay? 10 hours. We could have an entire course done, complete, with a complete marketing plan, ready to monetize.
That's phenomenal. Okay.
Right? You see?
Absolutely. And I was looking at learning things, of course, for my business. I've just had a couple of people that have mentioned to me some of the things that they were doing, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I come from the iRobot, scared, not wanting to do any of this stuff. So, you know what I mean? I was like, won't be me. And a lot of people are saying that, like, like that's the beginning of the end. I'm not doing that. So when someone was telling me some of the things that they were doing, that it wouldn't necessarily threaten or jeopardize my ability to run a business or be productive in a business or not take the jobs, because that's the big thing. The robots are going to take our job, or AI is going to take our jobs, and things like that. So much so that sometimes they've even changed what AI stood for, because they wanted to kind of take the threat level down as much. So I was definitely one of those people, till somebody was like, girl, look what this did. And I was just like, so at that point I began to get on a journey to try to learn a little bit more. Talk to us about how AI will help you to cut costs in your business.
Yeah. So let's suppose you're in you have a business where you sell products, right? And you actually are not sure what's going to be your $1 million product. AI, you can prime your AI to tell you, based on the data, who your niche market should be, right, when you should market to them, and what is going to be your best product. Right? So, and it can craft the messaging. And this is one of the things I teach early on before we even get to the course making. It can craft your messaging so that it speaks to your target market, so that they understand that you understand them and you know what they need. So you put products in front of them that they're likely to buy. That's going to save you time. That's going to save you money, because you're not going to be wasting money on Facebook ads, putting them in front of the wrong people. Most people in business have some sort of horror stories, Facebook ads, losing money. It was a waste of time. I didn't get any return on my investment. So that's one way if you're in product sales. Another way, if you're a coach, I already talked about how you can move courses to monetization real quick, right? Real quick.
Right.
And then it's going to
How
help
quick?
you.
I know you said the 5 days or
Yeah,
10
literally
hours.
less than that. You really could do it in a day. If you know what you're doing, you can do this in a day. And this is what I teach. Because see, most people that create courses or sell something online, they get stuck with, yeah, I've got this course, but I'm not really doing anything with it.
Right.
Or I started this, but then when I was talking to people about it, they didn't really sound too interested in it. So
Right.
people waste time all the time creating courses that nobody wants to buy, nobody's interested in because they have their messaging wrong, they have their target market wrong. AI can help you dial that in so you're not wasting time and money. I'll
Gotcha.
give you a specific example with me. So I created master classes that got me booked for high paying speaking gigs in an area that I know a lot about, but it's not my actual target audience. So
Mm,
me being able to use AI to create a master course and a master class for this segment, it allowed me to show my expertise in another area that I typically wouldn't have access to,
gotcha.
right? And see, if in business, one of the fastest ways to accelerate your business is using other people's audiences and other people's stages. So AI is going to save you in marketing time, marketing dollars by being able to quickly create something, put it in front of your contacts or people who are already a part of your tribe, like my Facebook group, and find out what's really popping. Does this resonate with them or does it not? What do they need? And then you can deliver it faster,
Gotcha.
right?
So you're eliminating the need for market research.
Ex- Praise the Lord. Yes, ma'am. Market research, typically, it takes a long time, it takes a lot of money and a lot of manpower.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And for some like yeah, for someone like myself who, like you said, you got a life, you got a family, you have multiple things going on at one time. Those kinds of things are very, very helpful. Probably would have helped me in my search a lot faster. I had to go through a lot of people to find you. So absolutely would probably have helped to ease some of that. So that's awesome,
Yeah,
and
and
I'm glad.
that's one way. People can build their own chatbots. Like, for example, I have a baby one in my Instagram DMs, right?
Mhm.
Somebody can DM me a question and my bot is going to answer for me. Now, that's what starts the conversation, right? And then you use AI to create your automations so that I don't have to be on the phone talking to people at every junction, because when your target market is right and your messaging is right, you'll have hundreds of people coming in, right?
Gotcha.
And you
Mhm.
need to have a sequence that speaks to them right away, and it speaks to them in terms that they understand so that they come into your tribe.
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. I like it. I like what I'm hearing so far. Starting to my anxiety is going down and down,
Yes.
down and
We don't
down.
want we don't want AI anxiety, because check this out. This is the other thing I tell people. The reality is we don't know how much time we have on earth anyway. That's
Right.
just let's just keep it in perspective. It's a human condition that we worry about things that haven't occurred, right? We're afraid of things that haven't occurred, and that fear stops us a lot of times. And those things we're afraid of, they may never, ever, ever happen, right?
Sure.
But it's just a human condition that we put our past into our future. And that's what stops us from really building the lives that we want. So the reality is, we don't know when our life is going to end. We don't know when anybody's life is going to end,
Of course.
right? And then number two, the thing that makes us human is our spirit and our soul. AI will never replace that, right? AI can answer 1,000 questions, 1,000,000 questions. But see, this is the difference. I can look you in your eye, in human language, we have a no speak language as well.
Yes, we do.
AI doesn't have that.
I know when you do the little when they want you to verify that you're not a robot and you have to put in the intricate things like you have to select the boxes and things like that because there are certain things that that they just can't do. And sequences such as that are one of them. So I definitely can understand, but just the acceleration is very very exciting for someone like myself, who does content creating, who makes flyers, does this, does that. That all of that sounds super helpful in what it is that I'm trying to do. How accurate would you say AI is? Now, I heard a story in the news where they were able to do like a uterine transplant on someone. So they're really using AI in the medical technology. Talk about some of the accuracies and what it helps to cut down on when it comes to costly mistakes.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because in medicine is a practice, right? And
Right.
when human beings practice, we make mistakes. That's part of being human. When we
Sure.
practice, we get better the more we practice, but we make mistakes, especially when we're learning something new.
Hmm.
When you add on top of that, our humanness makes it so that we get tired, we get burned out,
Hmm.
stress bothers us and it affects our work. And all of that reduces our accuracy.
That's
So if you're a brain surgeon or you're performing uterine surgery, all of those little inaccuracies become magnified.
right.
With AI, see, you don't have to worry about that. Our AI is it's not going to get sleepy. It's not going to be carrying stress from working from the kids and coming to work. I hate my job. See, all those things are out of the way.
Right.
Listen, AI is not going to be worried about the Karens next door and in the cubicle next to them. AI is going to be undisturbed and unfettered. When it has a job to do, AI is going to be on the job.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and see, sometimes the humanness that makes us perfectly imperfect when it comes to things like medicine and surgery and data, I would look to AI over a human just because I know that the consistency is going to be there. I don't worry about my AI is going to all of a sudden say, you know what, Kifa, I'm tired of working for you. I'm about to turn up and do my own thing. Like, I
Right.
don't worry about that happening. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean? It's just not going to happen. It's just, at least that's not my fear. I'm more afraid of a road rage incident or somebody coming in the store with a gun,
Sure.
doing a mass shooting. See, we got to
Sure.
keep things in perspective.
Right. I understand. It makes a lot of sense. And I was just thinking about all of the those costly errors, the malpractice suits, the people who end up getting hurt or don't recover because there's been some kind of medical mistake. So I was thinking about it along those lines, but just super the accuracy, the abilities, the speed, probably reaching places that maybe you don't have to be as invasive, just different things in the medical field. And I know that if they're using it, they've been using it. It's not
That's
it's
right.
not something new. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
It's just it trickles down to us. But they've been implementing these things, and I think that the opportunity to embrace it in your lane and what you and how you do and what you do is what I find to be the most valuable. There are some things like you said that just won't be able to be replaced when it comes to to AI robots or whatever the case may be. There's some things that you just you can't replace. So absolutely. um I dropped my little cue card. So talk about talk about some of the things aside from the course creation. Talk about some of the innovation and the things that you're seeing as this rapidly advancing technology becomes more present in our daily lives.
Oh God, listen, people are building no code apps. Think about an app that you say, man, I wish it was an app to do XYZ.
Right.
You don't need to know how to code to build your app. You actually could build an app that saves human lives
Mm,
without knowing a drop of code. You can support people like, tech support. If when you get to a point where you know how to prime your chat, and priming just means, sometimes people call it prompting, but priming means a way that you talk to your chat so that it knows you and it can be accurate for you, because that's one of the things people talk about. Oh well, yeah, it spit out information now, it's incorrect. The information is only as good as what the user is asking. How are you framing your question? So it's kind of like being in court. If you're a lawyer, you can't just go up to the judge and say, look, my client is tripping, you need to let us go.
right.
Right? You can't do that. You have to
Right.
have a way that you talk to the judge so he can deliver back an answer in your favor.
Right.
It's the same thing with Chat GPT. So those are some of the things you can do. Creating lesson plans,
Mm,
right? Think about all the children who struggle to learn. Suppose they know how to create lesson plans specifically tailored to how their brain is wired and how they learn. And Chat spits out a whole way of learning for them that does not have to fit in the public school system.
hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that is your chat knowing you. You can have autistic children, special needs children that have ways that they can learn how to do things that nobody ever thought they can do because of AI.
Right. That's definitely the intricacies and the intimacies. I was talking to my brother and he was like, and some stuff, because they know you, when you step outside of something that you would normally do, they more so kind of hold you accountable to what it is that you stand for. And I guess if you still choose to deviate outside of that, that's fine. But in keeping up with your style and getting to know you, and even a sense of humor, I can't imagine any AI with my sense of humor. But I'm here.
No, listen,
I'm here for
I'll
it.
tell you about one that has a sense of humor. I'll tell you about that. But see, think about the implications of how life changing it is just globally. Because, see, one of the things that stresses our kids out is when they have something in their head and they're not understood, right? When they're put in a box that they really don't belong. See, individualism doesn't belong in the box just because you look not like everyone else.
Hmm.
But imagine what it does for their psyche when now they can understand something and they can communicate with other kids, right? And they're not being bullied, they're not being teased, because see, now they're up to speed and they feel good about themselves. Just imagine the implications of that all over the world. That's going to cut down on the mass shootings. That's going to cut down on people just feeling like they have no choice because they've been bullied. I really see it just transforming the world in that sense, because it's no longer the smarts and the non-smart people,
Hmm.
right? We all can be on an equal playing field for the most part.
Gotcha. That's huge. Some of those things I find to be extremely important. And I am probably one of those people. There are some things that I may not catch on to the way that is presented right away, which is probably what my knock against technology can be at times. If I'm looking at something too long, it overwhelms me, and I just so
Yeah.
having something that can actually relate to me and putting it in ways, or terms that are more tailored to how I think, how I learn, how I soak up information is a really, really big deal. So I
Yeah,
love that.
it's life changing. I mean, I believe in it so wholeheartedly because I've seen people's lives change, just even financially. We're talking about financial empowerment.
Yes.
Imagine all of the folks, right, who are working 9 to 5 jobs. Maybe they're working for corporations and they're making just enough money to pay their bills, but they have $1 million course, $1 million idea in their mind that they can get out. To me,
Mhm.
that's exciting. It's exhilarating, right?
Absolutely.
It's transformative.
Absolutely. And the burnout that comes where a lot of people struggle to work a 9 to 5 and then come home and work on their baby or work on their project. And consequently things get delayed. You look up, it's been 2 or 3 years and you still haven't done what you wanted to do. So absolutely, I do see the revolution of the abilities. So tell me what, well, you kind of talked about it, but how are you using it to brand yourself when it comes to the courses, all your businesses? How are you using it? Give us an example of how you're using it to brand yourself.
So I used it to come up with my product descriptions for my Sweaty Wetty CBD line. I
Mhm.
used AI to come up with my product descriptions. It helped me. Check this out. This is so dope. So my CBD line is for recovery. It's for grown-ups. Okay. I put it that way. It's for grown-ups and sports recovery.
Thank you
Right?
for the disclaimer. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's for grown-ups and sports recovery. It helped me once I told it who my target audience is. It helped me come up with my names. It helped me come up with my product descriptions, right? Even with my retreats in Tulum, it helped me to tease out the people that will want to come to Tulum and learn artificial intelligence. Okay. It helped me tease out the people that will want to come to Tulum for a wellness retreat, for a reset and recovery and reboot, right? So, man, not only that, just branding has everything to do with your messaging and your content that you put out,
Sure.
right? My chat knowing who I am helps me come up with the content that brands me as the AI expert, right?
Right.
It brands me as the CrossFit expert. I know that I resonate with women over 40. So it helps me beeline to the women who have ears to hear what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Right? So that again, that's time savings, that's stress reduction, that's freedom. And all of that, what I'm saying is all of that enables me to take whatever I have, product, service, message, to market in record time a lot faster.
Hmm. Beautiful. Okay. So, for the serial entrepreneurs in the world who wear a million hats and have a whole bunch of businesses that they're developing or building, hope you hear that, where you can cut down on a lot of the market research, the cost, being able to more so hone in on your target market, funneling. It sounds like they do the funneling for you.
Yes.
um all of those things take so much time. And I know because I'm doing it, it takes so much time, and sometimes you just be like, dang, like I've been doing this, and it's not, I'm not bringing the traffic that I need to bring. And then you're thinking of what is the next thing that I can do. Having those ideas is a really, really big deal. And I'll shout out Kim Hill, who I do see watching. She was telling me some things about how it can help me in the business that we are in, and how it will eliminate you trying to find ways to engage people that aren't in your field, or engage people who may be on a different degree level, or whatever, telling you how to be able to get them to your what you're trying to do. So absolutely, that's a really really big deal. I'm so excited for you. It sounds like it's your boot camp is a really big deal. The last question that I'm going to ask you is how can we learn um, how to make money? Like, say, I know the course creation and things like that, but tell us how we might be able to bring in revenue. If maybe I'm not in business, how can I bring in some revenue from utilizing AI?
Oh, that's the best question. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because most people sit in that seat. They don't really know how they can use it to make money. They might be thinking, I'm not an expert. I've never taught a course.
I
I
don't
don't
have
have a
business.
desire to be in front of people like that. What can I do? This is what I always say, and it's so simple, it's gonna sound crazy. And I'm gonna tell you, and I learned all the years of being a Rough Rider, when DMX was around, one thing he always used to say, you gotta give the people something that make them want to F with you. So, in other words, give the people what they want. When you see a need for something, right, you use the AI technology to fill it. So, for example, even on your local level, let's say, for example, you're somebody who goes to church on Sundays and you know the church has a need for a faster way to bring people in from, just coming in on Sundays to becoming members.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you can do is create a pre-assessment. What brings the people to the church?
Hmm.
What do you need? What is it that drives you to church? Like, what do you need to see to keep you coming back? You have to ask chat what those questions, what the sequence would be. But you know what? When you have a pre-assessment, people coming into your church, and if they say, well, I'm coming because I heard that you guys don't do all the hooting and hollering and you actually just teach. When you get stuff that says that the people are telling you what they prefer, see, now you can take an action on it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so, and that's just one example. Maybe at your local grocery store that they have a problem with something, I don't know, a particular product that's always out of stock and they don't know how to keep it in stock. You can help them keep that product filled, right? Because see, a lot of times people in regular jobs, they're giving regular results. They don't know everything.
Sure.
You have an expert in your chat right there with you.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just helping the teachers at the school that your child goes to. Maybe it's helping them have more organized lesson plans.
The lesson plans are probably one of the biggest things that I hear teachers have issues with. It's time consuming, and you're trying to tailor it to your students. And like you said, some people learn differently and things like that. So that's definitely a big deal. And if it frees you up to be able to do other things, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, I think getting out of how we normally think about things. Normally we think about something from a perspective of what I can do versus what people need. And that's why people end up creating courses about things that nobody really wants to buy,
Sure.
right? So if you're part of an organization, it could even be your local HOA. Maybe you're in a neighborhood and you have a condo association and they have a need for a better way to collect the condo dues. Guess
Mm,
what? I can handle that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I can handle that. And we got automated notices. We got a way that they can pay online, and we'll have automated thank yous, or just, I'm just thinking
Mhm.
your condo association can pay you to handle that. Guess
Absolutely.
what? You set it and forget it. It's already done.
Mm.
These are
Now,
just examples.
what stops the condo or the home association from just using the Chat GPT? Like, what stops them from?
So that's a good
'Cause
question.
that's a big one.
I,
People
I
are,
get asked
are
that all the time. So
yeah.
this is the thing. People need a framework. That's why they do courses, because anybody can go to chat and get information. But
Mhm.
most people that do that, they got all these chats and they got all this information, they got this content, but they have no idea how to put it in a framework that is usable to bring money to them.
Mhm.
And that is where, see, that is where, like my boot camp, when I show you how to put stuff together so you have a finished product. Most people, they don't finish courses that they sign up for. They
Mhm.
sign up for stuff that they never even look at, right? They have a problem with finishing. And the finishing is in the details. See, anybody could just go to Chat GPT and type something in and get an answer. But how you gonna know that answer is accurate? How you gonna know that answer is not the same answer as the other millions of people that's asking those questions? There's ways that you have to prime and talk to your chat to ensure you have unique data, unique information,
Mhm.
right? And that is the thing that stops people from just doing it, because you got to have a framework, right? So when you create your content, I can show you how to go to Canva and automate your presentation. So
Mhm.
all your slides are spit out and you all you do is press one button. You know what I'm saying? People
Sure.
don't know the rest of the AI tools. Sometimes they just don't have a desire to learn. I feel like the people that enjoy tech, that enjoy learning new stuff,
Mhm.
like me, we have an excitement about it. So yeah, we're gonna go learn all the tools. We're gonna test the tools. We're gonna try to break the tools just so we can learn more and come back and say, okay, don't do this. This is what I need you to do. So we can get to market fast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we are kind of winding down. Tell me what you see for your future as it relates to AI. Where do you see this moving your businesses to?
Oh, that's great. Another good question. So number one, I'm on the edge of my seat because this technology is moving rapidly. And even if you out of the game for 30 days, man, you're gonna be behind, right?
If you do
So
what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
yeah, if you're out of the game, like let's say you just do a technology sabbatical for 30 days and then you come back, it's going to be a 180-degree difference in the technologies that are out there.
Mhm.
So where I see myself going, I'm a lover of learning this AI technology. I'm always going to be on the front line learning and implementing. This is
Got-
what I always say: learn one thing, activate and implement. Don't wait until you feel like you got to learn this and this and that. You only need to learn one thing, start implementing it in your business. So for me, I see myself teaching more AI across the world, global, not just in Mexico. I just happen to own property there.
Gotcha.
Actually, that all started with the fitness, the desire to want everybody to feel their healthiest, be stress-free and relaxed. But once I started learning how AI can help me teach people how to be relaxed, how to be stress-free, how to reduce burnout, I see myself going global, teaching people all over the world how to build their businesses, how to build the things that's in their mind, bringing that to, bringing it out so they're not waiting, so they can live the life that they want. Like really just changing the world.
That's fantastic. I did have an additional question.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, you just sold it on a big level as far as the things that you can do globally. How would, let's say, I have teens that are transitioning to college and things like that. What do you suggest for teens coming up in this era? What do you suggest that they do to make sure that they have a place in this world with the technology and things like that? Because they're not necessarily wanting to work a traditional 9 to 5, or they have their own ideas on what they want to do and how they want to move. Lord help us, because I hear some things, especially from my own teens, on how they think and what they're interested in. What do you suggest for teens finding their place in the AI world?
So this is just not just teens, with everybody. I always say we have to meet people where they are. So with our kids, find the things that they're interested in. Like my daughter, my 11-year-old, she draws anime. Find the things that they're interested in and show them how AI is going to help them do that thing on a larger scale, right? So for example, with my daughter drawing animation, there's some things in AI. There's a thing called Midjourney that helps. Check this out. This is deep. You don't have to know how to draw. You don't have to know how to sketch or nothing. You type in a description. African American woman who does CrossFit, has muscles and tattoos with braids in her hair. The sunlight's behind her. She's standing in a strong warrior pose. You type in with text and it generates the image. It will generate the image for you. And the better that you get. So let's say your child is into photography, right? Your child can type in, how do I, like, let's say they want to do a picture where the sunlight is, kind of dim, but not too dim. And it is a frame setting, but your child doesn't know what that frame setting is. Your child can type that in and AI is going to spit out the frame settings. And then not only that, it's going to create an image for you. It's going to create that image. So we have to find things that they're already drawn to and show them how AI is going to accelerate that and make it larger in their life so they actually can see the marriage of the two or the three, right? That's what gets them interested. I never want to take things that people aren't interested in. Because if you don't want to build courses, I don't want to say, let's use AI to build a course.
Right.
I have to meet people where they are. What is it your desire? What is your desire?
Right.
What is it that you see yourself doing that gives you the utmost freedom and feel good about the life you're creating for yourself? Because we're creating our own life. Nobody else is creating it.
Right.
We're doing that. So I want people to be on the field, right? Be on the field, on the court, in the game for their own life. Get off the bench. AI is giving us all the opportunity to get off the bench in our own life, because now we don't have to wait around for people to help us with this or that.
Right. Absolutely. Kifa, I was going to ask you to give us a charge on how we can really take control of this thing, but I feel like you kind of just did. To encourage and inspire people to, like you said, get off the bench of their own lives and to use this as a tool versus it being an adversary. Taking control of the things that you can control and having an assistant. A lot of people in business are saying, dang, I wish I had an assistant, but I can't afford to pay an assistant because I'm a small business and I'm just getting started, or whatever the case may be. Now you have this assistant that can not only help you to get some things done, but show you how to do it faster, smarter, and better. So I appreciate you so much for sharing that information with us, giving us a charge. But tell the people how they can get in contact with you. What's the best way if they wanted to register for your boot camp or learn about some of the other things that you're doing? What is the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you know what? The best way, if you DM me on Instagram at Keefa Ray, Kee, and I'll put this in the chat. You DM me on Instagram, webinar. DM me webinar. That way I know you heard me on the show. I'm going to send you all the details. Okay. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to tell you where you need to show up, even on Clubhouse. I'll tell you where I am on Clubhouse, the Facebook group, because I'm always doing stuff in the Facebook group. Like, I drop some serious knowledge in the Facebook group, so much so that even if people just implemented one thing that they hear on the master classes that I do, it's going to accelerate their business. Just getting out of being paralyzed and not doing nothing. But just DM me on Instagram at Keifa Ray. DM me webinar. That way I know you heard me on the show, and I'll tell you where to show up, where to be, how we going to get your life popping to the fullest.
That sounds like super exclusive. Sounds like something you're just doing for the Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Squad. So we appreciate the exclusive on that's a part of her marketing, right? So she knows who she can keep track of who saw the webinar, and she can, show you all what to get done. So you're ever thinking as it relates to business. So I am super, super excited. Again, we give these free resources. We have someone to explain and give you a basic knowledge, but go support her boot camp. Go support her business, especially if you have some things that it is that you want to learn. You just got a crash course on here, but I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like at the actual boot camp when you have her as an instructor to really show you how to get these things done. And we always want to promote and support small businesses, but again, taking advantage of the resources and the information that we are giving to you and sharing with you every single week, because your money matters, your business matters, your life matters. All of that stuff is super, super important, and we just want to help you get to the next level. So I will bid you goodbye, Keifa. This will not be the last time that we talk. I know you have some other ventures and things like that, so we may bring you back. We do different things. We do entrepreneur spotlights and different things like that. So I know that this won't be the last time that we talk to you, but I just wanted to thank you a whole lot for coming on the show and gracing us with your presence and your knowledge, your energy. Even when we connected on the phone, I was like, yep, that's the one. So I thank you a million.
You know what? Thank you for having me. I will, whatever questions come through the chat, you have my word. I will answer every question happily. Just know it is my deepest desire that everybody create a life they love and that they're powerful in, and that they feel free to show up in the world the way God created them, all of them, because that's the ultimate freedom. And that's when we make the most money. That's when we reach abundance. So it is my deepest desire for everybody to hit that level. And whatever I can do, I'm right here. And I'm letting you know it's AI is what's popping right now. So thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And with that being said, she just did our closing message. I second everything that she just said. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Your Money Matters Financial Empowerment Show. And we wish you a good night.
CMPRadio.net, it's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place